So I don't know what word you would use to describe how you're feeling as we head into European summertime. In this summer video series, people have used words like languishing, tired, isolated to describe how they felt at different points. Perhaps you would choose one of those words, or maybe a different one. There is a poem by John O'Donoghue that he called A Blessing for the One Who is Exhausted. Perhaps that is a word that you would use to describe how you're doing. I'm going to read a little extract of that poem now. You have travelled too fast over false ground. Now your soul has come to take you back. Take refuge in your senses. Open up to all the small miracles you rush through. Become inclined to watch the way of rain when it falls slow and free. Imitate the habit of twilight, taking time to open the well of colour that fostered the brightness of day. Draw alongside the silence of stone until its calmness can claim you. Be excessively gentle with yourself. I love the invitation we hear in this poem to slow down, at least to slow down just enough that we notice what is going on within and around us. What is really happening here, we might ask ourselves. Much of our lives is spent in the world of our thoughts. As leaders, we plan, we envision, we set goals, we evaluate, we reconstruct conversations, we work through areas of conflict, we strategize, we plan some more. Perhaps this summer there's an invitation to get out of our own heads. How do we do that? How do we become more present to what is going on within and around us? Well, there are two main ways that come to my mind. The first is really incredibly simple. By paying attention to our breath, we can help our whole being to sort of settle down. And we can get out of our own heads by becoming more aware of our bodies. Maybe this is something that you've tried already. What I'm talking about is simply paying attention to the action of breathing in and breathing out, and maybe taking those breaths a little more slowly than you normally would. Simply by taking 5 minutes every day to focus on our breathing, to breathe slowly in and out, we can cultivate a sense of calm that really can help us to recharge. I like to use this time to turn my attention to Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, in whose presence we live and breathe and have our being. Perhaps the in-breath could become a moment to focus on drawing from the life of God, and maybe the out-breath could be an opportunity to release all my efforts at self-sufficiency. The second way we can get out of our own heads is through our 5 senses. So when we pay attention to the things that we see and hear and touch and smell and taste, we automatically slow down and get out of our own heads. Our senses can become a gateway into a more attentive way of being in the world. What I mean is, when I take time to really see something, there's more of a chance that what I see will speak to me about God and the ways that God is with me. And when I take time to really listen to something, there's more of a chance that in listening I will hear the still small voice of the Spirit through the birdsong, perhaps, or the trickle of water. And when I take time to really taste something, there's more of a chance that my heart will turn towards the sweetness of God's provision as expressed to me in the strawberry or the piece of melon that I'm munching. I wonder how you might choose to tune in to your 5 senses this summer. Maybe you could make it a habit just to take 5 minutes every day to pay slightly closer attention than normal to the things that you're seeing, the things that you're hearing, the things that you're smelling or touching or tasting. In that moment of noticing, you could simply include God in your noticing. How are you present to me here, Lord? Is something you could ask. So whether you decide to try out some slow breathing or to pay closer attention to your senses, I would love to hear about the sort of space that opens up for you as you do that. I hope that this is just one of many ways that you find to recharge this summer.